Well, it definitely seems like that Larry Ogunjobi signing was it definitely aged well. Huh? Because breaking news. I made a video a few days ago saying that the Bears would be signing Larry Ogunjobi. Well, we can all cancel those plans because Ogunjobi is not signing with the Bears. No, he didn't do what some people in free agency are doing where they're just backing off the deal and going somewhere else. No, he failed his physical. Yeah, I know. That's the life of a Bears fan. You always expect the worst possible outcome, and then it happens. He failed his physical, and because of it, he won't be signing with the Bears. Here's a statement from Ryan Poles on this news. He goes to say, as I said before, Larry Ogunjobi embodies everything we're looking for in a Bear. He is a special person and player. During the league's negotiation window earlier this week, we agreed to terms with him, subject to him passing a physical here. After a standard and thorough physical and medical review with Larry yesterday afternoon, our medical team deemed him to have failed his physical, and therefore, unfortunately, we are not signing him today. This is difficult and it is emotional for everyone involved, but ultimately, it is what is in the best interest of protecting the Chicago Bears. Now, if you're wondering, Cam 315, why not just the doctors say, screw it, he passes physical? You can probably do that. Yeah, you can, but, do you really want to have it where, okay, they do that route, you get to training camp, and then barring, for some unforeseen reason, Larry Ogunjobi essentially is not practicing in training camp, and there's some sort of far-seen setback where he's supposed to be scheduled to come back later in the season than originally supposed to be due. And then you have pretty much kind of similar to what happened with Eddie Goldman this past season. And then you're going to probably have Bear fans questioning, oh, so he got his money now and now he doesn't want to show up? So yes, listen, this sucks obviously as a Bears fan because, well, a really good player, failed their physical and they couldn't be able to be signed by the team. So yeah. So again, I'll say this, credit to the Chicago Bears medical team. They said this guy couldn't pass the physical. And because of it, well, we can't sign him. I'm sorry. It's going to be more harm than good if you just keep him. And then two, you're going to be paying a guy all this money. And if he's not going to be showing up to practice and playing some games because he's hurt, well, then you have to question Ryan Poles from the standpoint, why the hell did you sign him if you knew he was already hurt? So, yes. Now, what are the reasons that he could have failed his physical? In the playoff game against the Raiders this past season, he actually injured his foot, and he missed the remaining weeks of the playoffs, and he had to actually get surgery on it. And remember, the playoffs, they started essentially in January and stuff like that. So we don't know when he had surgery on his foot or something like that. And by then, it would have been 2 months. So I highly doubt that foot's fully healed, and that's probably something the Bears took away, and they're like, well, we can't sign this guy because he's not going to pass the physical for foot. So, yes. Last thing before I get out of here, what does this mean for the Chicago Bears? Well, I'll tell you one thing. They need a 3 technique. So, yeah, but personally, I'm of the position where I don't give a crap if they need a damn 3 technique defensive player. We don't need defense. For the standard and the opportunity that I've said this free agency we need to do this entire offseason, we need to give help to Justin Fields. You can call me a hater, but I was kind of one of the people that was like, I like it, but at the same time, I don't like it because why are we signing a defensive player? Why? We don't need that. And you can say, well, we need a 3 technique for Eberflus's scheme. You can't just develop a 3 technique in Eberflus's scheme. You can't just go out there and draft a player to do that too. So, because of Larry Ogunjobi not signing, the Bears have free money right there. Please use it to address the offensive line. Like I said, JC Tretter's still out there. You can put him at the center, which that means you can make Lucas Patrick go to one of the guard positions. Lael Collins is still there. Based on, he's still out there. He got released yesterday. If you want Lael Collins, he's there on the market. Obviously, you're going to have to wait for what happens with the Teron Armstead situation, even though there's red flags because of his injury history. But his situation is particularly predicated on what Deshaun Watson does. If Deshaun Watson goes to New Orleans, he's probably returning to New Orleans. If Deshaun Watson goes to Atlanta, which seemingly might be the place he's definitely going to, you have an opportunity to go get Teron Armstead. Again, injury histories are a flag, and stuff like that. You know, you can say, well, should you use it to use money on receiver? No, you can address the receivers in the draft too. If you want to get Juju Smith-Schuster on the cheap, you know, fine. If he's willing to take a cheap little, 2-year, maybe you're getting paid $10 million, deal or something like that. But with this money being freed up, I hope Ryan Poles uses this to fix the offensive line, because just having Lucas Patrick there is not going to work. There's free agent offensive linemen out there. Use it to sign offensive line. We need to protect Justin. That's what I hope we do with the money. We don't overpay for another defensive player. Now, obviously, how do we address the 3 technique issue? Like I said, why not just develop one of the 3 technique guys? You probably should have locked up one of these guys like a Bilal Nichols type to freaking stay here. But no, I digress. You can probably find a 3 technique guy in the draft. That's what I'm saying. Address some of your needs in the draft. Now, you can renege on this. You can go actually put your money towards offensive line. And you can have your defense/receivers be picked in the draft. There you go. There's your answer to getting a 3 technique. No big deal. And again, if it's so urgent that they need it, why can't they develop a player to become a 3 technique? Why does it have to be a certain player to play the 3 technique? I understand, certain players probably work better in that. But my job is this. If you're a coach, I did coaching for a year. Shouldn't you develop your players to help them understand how to play the position? That's what I'm thinking. So that's just me. You can call me a hater, but I'm just saying, we need to use this money we got right here to address the offensive line. You can address your 3 technique in the draft. You can address your receiver 1% problem in the draft. Do that. So hopefully Ryan Poles is going to be signing some more things to add to the offensive side of the ball, not the defensive side of the ball. But hey, we'll see what happens next. The D-line is pretty thin. So we'll see what he does. But sadly, Larry Ogunjobi will not be signing with the Bears. Good on the Bears medical staff for figuring this out and realizing he's not good. Because if this is the Ryan Pace Bears, the medical staff would have passed him, and then we could have been having the Eddie Goldman situation all over again. And then you question Larry Ogunjobi's, character when it's probably he's doing whatever he can to try to play. But we all think as fans on the outside looking in, because we don't have all the details, this guy taking off. He just sitting on his couch because he got paid. But it is what it is. Larry Ogunjobi not signing with the Bears. Bear fans, give me your thoughts in the comment section. Leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts. Where do the Bears go from here? Should they continue addressing the offensive line problem, like I said earlier, now that they got more money in their cap space now? Or should they go see if they can maybe find another person on defense? Heck, maybe they look to entertain and bring in Akeem Hicks back. Maybe they say, hey, dude, if the price is right, we'll bring you back so you can potentially be our 3 technique. Maybe that's the thing they do. Who knows? So I guess in a grand scheme, it opens the door for Akeem Hicks to potentially come back. I guess it wouldn't hurt. Like I said, if the price is right, and you're willing to bring him back and he's okay with that, then hey, cool. I'm down with bringing Akeem Hicks back. But this is definitely a blow to Chicago Bears. Definitely a blow. But hey, it wasn't an official move, so I'm not really going to blame Ryan Poles on that. He's thinking he's going to get a guy that's going to come in, pass his physical and everything, but he didn't. Plain and simple. But you can't do nothing when you got a foot injury and you've only probably recovered for about 2 months. So I would completely understand if he failed the physical. And there's nothing you can really do about that. That's just things that happen. So yeah, and I highly doubt the Bears would throw him another offer. You know, if he failed it before, you might as well just move him and be like, "We're sorry, dude. We wanted you here, but failed your physical." You know, so because he failed his physical, I guarantee you now teams are gonna they don't have to overspend for him now. Other teams around don't have to overspend for him. They can literally be like, "We can get this guy on the cheap. He failed his physical, and we can just pass him." So he could potentially actually return to Cincinnati on a cheaper deal and on a 1-year cheap deal to get proven. And who knows? Maybe then the Bears the following year might be interested again. Who knows what they said? Hey, listen, go somewhere else. Maybe we'll entertain your services next year. And maybe we can come to a deal next year when we got more money. And stuff like that. So we'll see what's going to happen next for the Bears. I'm perfectly fine. I'm not freaking out like everybody's freaking out. I still think the needs of this team is O-line, wide receiver. Then you can have defensive line. Offensive needs to be the priority because guess what? Who scores you points? Offense. Defense doesn't. They get takeaways and they get stops. Right now, we need to prioritize the offense, not the defense. The defense, still with subpar play, still managed to keep you in some ball games. So I think we're honestly fine, but we'll see what's going to happen. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm watching this video. Until then, guys, peace.